Right, all new Jeep Renegade. We actually did do a review of this last summer. I did it in the UK. That car was a diesel though. That review and the video is on motoringme.com and also on youtube.com/Motoring Middle East. So you can go and check them out. So I don't want to go into too much details on this one, but the difference this time is that whereas that was a diesel, this is the car that we get in our market. This is the 2.4 litre Tigershark, as they call it, petrol engine. That gives you 180 brake horsepower and 175 pounds-foot of torque. It's good for 0 to 100 in just over 8 seconds and about 200 kilometers per hour top speed. The prices on these cars, the four-wheel drive versions in Dubai Trading Enterprises, you can get for 85,999 dirhams, and that equates to about $23,000. At Western Motors in Abu Dhabi, they're also selling a two-wheel drive version of this car as well. And that one you can get for as little as 70,000 dirhams, and that's only $19,000. The car you see behind me, currently not in stock here in Dubai, is the Trailhawk edition. And this one is around 100,000 dirhams, about $27,000. So let me just take you on a quick walk around of the car before we get in and take it for a little bit of drive and find out what that petrol engine feels like. Check out this cute little Jeep logo right there on the windscreen. Lots of little motifs and little lovely little touches like that, all dotted around the car, including Jeep grills in the headlights and jerry can X's on the roof and in the cup holders inside, etc, etc. Like I said, this is the Trailhawk edition. The Trailhawk is actually sits more geared towards off-roading, of course, and sits about 20 millimeters higher than the regular car and has better front and rear approach and departure angles because of the reprofiled bumper. It's also got those quite prominent tow hooks. But you know, the regular car also comes with the four-wheel drive transmission, and it comes with things like the removable panel, or you can get a powered one as well. So you get two removable panels that you can take off and store in the boot, or you can get a powered one. It gets things like Beats audio as well, which is quite cool. So the trail rated on this car indicates the fact that this is, well, trail rated. Funky looking thing. This bright orange really stands out in the crowd, and yeah, you certainly cannot miss it. And it's got a lot of style, a lot of panache, a lot of character in this car. This car, of course, built in Italy, and a little hint to that, if I can just open the petrol camper, and if you don't know if you can see that, but there is, if you can just about make out, a little spider in there, and the spider is saying ciao baby. So there you go, there's a little hello from Italy, where this car is born, actually, is made, is put together. Let me just quickly show you the boot. Like I said, I just want to do a very quick walk around because I have done this in detail before, but very spacious, very practical, quite usable. There's a center bit there that can fold down and use as a central armrest with two cup holders in there should you wish to do so. Another motive there up in the tailgate, as mentioned before. Rear space, I can comfortably get into that, no problem at all, and I think it's generally fine to take two adults or probably three children for long trips. No issue at all. Actually quite a spacious cabin, remarkably spacious considering the size of the car. And that's one of the things, like when I pull back here, you know, you perceive this to be a small car, and you know, you think, you know, when I first learned about this car, I thought they were doing like a Suzuki sized sort of thing, a Suzuki SJ, Suzuki Samurai sort of thing, but no, this is actually quite a spacious and practical small family size SUV. So much bigger than it's perceived to be. Right, let's take it for a drive and see what that petrol engine is like. Right, here we are inside the car, delighted to be out of that incredible heat that we have today. As you can see on the dash, it's saying 42, I reckon it's a bit higher than that, but anyway. So like I said, a lot of this I've shown you before, so just give you a quick rundown of the interior, standard dials, analog dials, and you can scroll through, obviously, all of these things and shows you the little bits and pieces that is available to you. Interesting, you have a speedometer display there, but in fact, when you go into any of the other ones, the display here at the top, this bit here also turns into a speedometer. So actually, there you go. So you've got two speedometers, which is quite nice. Very nice, very easy to use system here. This is a new uprated one, Bluetooth and all that works really well. Great climate control down there. You've got the USB and the power supply. There's another USB inside here as well, so that's quite handy. Two cup holders, electric handbrake, 9-speed automatic, and down here you've got the terrain select system, four-wheel drive, lower four-wheel drive, lock, hill descent, and it's on automatic at the moment. But if I change it, so for example, there's a little light that tells you, and I can just turn this knob and change it. But I want to show you up here what happens when I change it, because it's quite cool. There you go. So you got, hang on, so you got snow, sand, mud. Car's gone dirty there. And yeah, you got to select four-wheel drive low if you're going to go into rock, but we're not doing anything like that. In fact, we're just going to leave it in auto because that's fine for what we're doing today. So not too much to say on that. Like I mentioned, I'm just going to turn that off. And in fact, you can fit the iPhone into this cup holder, so that's quite nice. It's always good when you can do that. So put it into drive, and let's go just give it a little bit of pressure to come off the electric handbrake there. So like I said, this is the Tigershark edition, the 2.4 with 180 horsepower, quite similar in terms of power to the diesel that I drove, but the diesel of course had more torque. But this one obviously has a higher top end, so therefore it gets a higher top speed and stuff like that. And of course, that's what we want here. We want the petrol version, so that's what we get. So there you go. I mean, we're just driving along through some gravel now, and yeah, it gets up a fair old speed, no problem at all. And of course, this is a Jeep. And yes, I did mention earlier that in the price you can get two-wheel drive. There's a patch of sand coming up, so you know, just power through it, no issues at all. And I've still got, you know, it's not in sand mode, the traction control is still on. Of course, in sand mode it turns the traction off, so not really an issue at all. And so I haven't taken this into the dunes or anything. I'll probably Imtishan, my colleague, will do that at some point when he gets hold of the car. But I reckon it'll do all right. Certainly in the sort of stuff that I like to do, it's absolutely fine. So this engine then, obviously doesn't sound like a diesel, it's much better, and sounds like a petrol, eh? And quite sporty actually. It's got a little bit of an Italian, you know, a little bit. Oh my god, my bag is flying around as I'm throwing it around this roundabout. And why am I throwing it around the roundabout? Because I can. Because actually, you know, all things considered, and I better be careful because there's a sandy patch here, you know, in which case it'll go flying off if I hit that wrong. Because you know what, it's Italian. There's a little bit of Italianness in this, so there's a little bit of sportiness in it. So yeah, so you can actually chuck it into a corner. Very good response from the steering. The grip obviously is there. It's quite a tall vehicle. This one is of course a little bit taller than the regular one, but you know what, it holds the road and it grips and it goes really well. So quite, as I said in my previous review, it's a surprisingly enjoyable car to drive. And around town it's very, very good because you have great visibility with these tall windows and these quite narrow pillars, relatively speaking to today, although this one's quite thick here, but otherwise generally quite narrow. But tall windows, you sit quite tall, you sit quite upright, lots of headroom in this thing. Look, I wear a top hat in here, no problem. And you get a great deal of visibility when you're in city traffic, and because of its compact size, you can do the whole, you know, little hatchback thing. You can dart around in traffic and cut your way through, zigzag your way through traffic, and you know, go for the little gaps that you might not normally do so in SUVs. And yet, having said that, so there's a little bit of patch of sand on the road there, so that's what you can hear. So, but having said that, it is a practical family SUV. Like I said, I mean, I've had the family in here, plenty of luggage space in the back as well. You can use this as a family car, as well as if you're just, you know, you just want a cool car, you don't have a family, but you just want a cool car with a little bit of off-roading potential, then this is definitely for that too. So once again, little burst of acceleration, kicks down to those 9 gears, takes a while for it to find the right gear, but there we go, we're off. And yeah, fair bit of grunt for a little thing like this, fair bit of performance, great stuff. So all around, a massive thumbs up from MME on the little Jeep Renegade. And in fact, the big thing about this car is not even the performance or anything like that, but it's the value. It's the sheer value of it. I mean, really, if you think about it, I mean, the fact that you could potentially, you know, if you're not going to go off-road and stuff, you can get, I mean, personally, I wouldn't want to get a Jeep without four-wheel drive. But technically, you can buy a Jeep without four-wheel drive. And if you choose to do that, if you choose not to go off-road, you just want the looks and the practicality, 70,000 dirhams. My goodness. Or 85,000 dirhams if you do want the four-wheel drive version. And you know, there's small saloons that are more expensive than that, and this is an SUV. So really, it's the value for money and funky car with lots of cool touches and the heritage since 1941. Thanks so much. Oh, this is getting tighter, isn't it? There's a lot of sand coming in these days. So thanks so much for watching. We're Motoring Middle East. Check us out on our website, motoringme.com. Find us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just search for Motoring Middle East. Same goes for YouTube. And if you're watching there on YouTube, please do subscribe and tell all your friends. You can also follow me on Snapchat. Just look for Shazad_Sheikh, where I put up a lot of stuff. And yeah, see you at the next one.